Today on Bam Ranch, let's talk about bug out bags. And more specifically, let's cover the go bag and why I think you should probably ditch your bug out bag and put together a go bag instead. We're going to discuss what I consider to be a go bag and what my philosophy is on that. And toward the end of the video, we'll gather all of my stuff up, dump it out in a pile, and I'll show you what I carry in mine. So without further ado, go ahead and hit the thumbs up button and let's let the arguments begin. So when it comes to bug out bags, it's normally one of the first preparedness things that people put together. And they get online and they watch YouTube and look up on Google and they get convinced that they need to build this ultra uber tactical bag that's modeled after, Delta Force or Navy SEAL Team 6, and you've got your shovels and your combat shelter and your body armor and all this survival gear and canteen cups and navigation and MREs and all of this stuff. And then you finally go through and you put all that together and you start to realize, well, it weighs 97 pounds and most people never even try to, do any rucking with that, go out and actually use it. But those that do realize that, man, that sucks. And the older you get, the more you realize that you don't want to have to mess with that. And the more mature you get, you realize that most bug out situations aren't going to be this huge Mad Max thing. And I can speak from experience. We've had to bug out a couple times. Now, is there some Mad Max scenario that could happen? Of course, but we have had to bug out before. And what a bug out bag basically becomes is a 3-day overnight bag that you didn't plan for. That's it. It's nothing more than that. And a bug out bag, to bug out means that you've got somewhere that you have planned ahead on going, whether that be a hotel or another family member's house or a piece of property that you have. It doesn't matter. But let's set some things straight that are some pretty big misconceptions. For one, get rid of the idea that you're going to be just barreling across scorched earth, for days and days at a time, or wandering through the woods in your commandeered Humvee that you found and all that mess. First and foremost, if you have to bug out on foot, there is a long series of problems that have happened and you really didn't plan appropriately. Now, anything can happen and we want to plan for something bad to happen, but that point still stands. Cram $2,000 worth of crap in a bug out bag and you're gonna be beaten by the guy who threw a bottle of water, a couple granola bars in an empty grocery sack and jumped in his $1,500 Toyota Corolla. That's just the truth, absolutely. We need to keep that in mind. Another thing is, the thing that we're going to use this go bag that we're going to switch to instead, it's going to be a lot lighter weight. It's not going to be hardcore survival gear, but it's going to be the gear that we need if we have to get out for some reason. Even if that's not an emergency. This may be just, we got to go stay a couple days at the hospital with somebody. It could be things are looking a little hairy and maybe we need to get out of here for just a few hours until it's gone. Last year in February, I had a video that I posted about a bug out that I did. And that was pretty much what it was. We had to leave the house and we weren't able to come back, or we didn't see it safe to come back until around 3 o'clock that morning. So that's the role that the go bag fills. Yes, we can go on your bug out full-blown Mad Max thing, but we don't plan on that. We plan on preparation to stop that from happening, and we're going to prep for the most common thing. Everybody wants to prep for the EMP and all that, and then they forget about, doomsday. Well, sometimes Tuesday happens too. So let's keep that in mind. I'll go ahead and drag mine out and let's take a look at it. All right, I was planning on doing this outside, but as y'all can probably hear in the background, we've got a 35 mile an hour wind today So y'all get the welding table instead. So this is my go bag. It is super not tactical and super lightweight. And that's on purpose. I don't want this thing to look, crazy tactical. I want it to look unassuming. Like I said, I may need to take this into the hospital and stay a few days with somebody. I don't want it to look like something that is filled with all kinds of cool tactical gear while it's sitting in the truck. I intentionally wanted something that was absolutely non-tactical. If I need to cover it up for camouflage or something, that's fine. I've got, ponchos. I've got a jacket that I can throw over this. There's lots of things I could do if for some reason I don't need to be seen. But anyway, let's break it down and go over what's in this. By the way, it's just a Kelty day pack. I don't know if they make this one anymore or not, but the one I keep in the truck is actually a Spider-Man backpack. So yeah, super not tactical. So let's just start from the front and work our way to the back. That pocket, nothing in there. And there's a reason for that. I wanted to be able to have some space to stick something in there if I need it. This front pouch just holds some really thin stuff. And what these are is just some freeze-dried food from a freeze-dried bucket that I had from, I don't know, like one of those survival buckets. I just took it apart, and there's some pancake mix in there, some potato soup. What is this? This looks like it is macaroni and cheese. Super lightweight, a ton of calories packed into a small area. Just add water. This is electrolyte replacement drink mixes. It's just thrown in there. I've got it if I need it, and that's all that is. Move into these side pouches here. Like I said, I may need to stay a few days with grandma, and she doesn't have a whole lot of money, so I got to take my own food and toiletries and things like that. It's just little travel bottles of shampoo. Multi-tool, always nice to have one of those. I normally carry one of these with me all the time, but I did include one in here, so for some reason I needed one. Everybody likes parachute cord, paracord. I don't. I tend to use this tarred number 36 bank line instead of parachute cord. I put a safety pin on there just to kind of hold it together, and safety pins are wonderful to have. I think this is like 300, 330 brake strength or something like that. This will do everything that paracord will for a fraction of the price, and I can carry like 40 times as much of it, taking up the same amount of space. I'll take this over paracord any day. Flashlight, just an extra flashlight with some batteries. I've got some batteries in here to replace this. This is a rechargeable one, but it will take the CR123 batteries as well. Always a good idea to have one of those, and a headlamp. Got the same pocket on the other side, and more of the same stuff. Something to brush your teeth with, hygiene. This is just I don't know what this was, a sunglasses bag or something. I don't know. I picked it up at the dollar store or something like that. But it just kind of containerizes everything. There's a lighter, some tape, electrical tape, some little Germ-X hand wipes, headache medicine, ibuprofen, just your simple, normal stuff. I do have a little bit of paracord in there and an extra lighter. Pretty simple. A headlamp, because headlamps beat flashlights every single day of the week. And I like to keep stuff containerized and keep it in here. I kind of have a place to keep stuff, and it doesn't always get lost, and it's a whole lot easier if I need to lay a pouch down to find that pouch than a bunch of individual crap that the wind blows all over the place and I magically never see it ever again. Man, that wind is ferocious. Okay, open it on up. Right up top, I have a rain poncho. This is one of the Roscoe ultra thin nylon military surplus style rain ponchos. These are really, really great for a lot of stuff. They're perfect for nothing. Obviously, it's a rain poncho. You could set it up, string it out like a tarp if you need to. You can drape it over your stuff if you need to camouflage it. The ACU pattern is probably the worst pattern I could pick, but I've got a whole bunch of these, and this is just the one that was handy that I grabbed and I stuck in here. Lay these out on the ground if you need to change a tire. Throw them on the ground and use it as a tarp to gather a bunch of leaves and sticks and stuff up if you need to carry those around. There's just 1,000 uses for these. And you'd be silly to not include one, and they're stupid cheap also. Laundry bag. Yes, obviously, for laundry, it's nice to have, but I have several of these, and man, I use them for everything. You can throw, just a general purpose bag. You know, if you've got something that's wet, you can put it in here and it'll dry. Well, somewhat better than a trash bag or something. These things have an amazing amount of stretch to them. It doesn't look like it, but you can fit a lot of stuff in here. You want to gather up firewood or something like that, throw it in here. If you see something on your little outing that you're going on that you need to grab and take with you, throw it in here. There's 1,000 different uses for it. It takes up no space, takes up no weight. Might as well include it. Just a pair of basic wool gloves and a beanie. I've normally got this stuff on me anyway. As a matter of fact, I keep a thin, lightweight beanie and a lightweight pair of gloves in the pockets of every single jacket I own. You'd be silly not to include it. This right here, we'll go over that here in a minute. Everybody wants to see a knife. It's just a basic Mora. I have better knives, quote, better knives than just this Mora, but this thing weighs nothing. And I've never once come across anything that this couldn't take care of. And just the cheap Mora companion. Why not? Back to the toiletries. Just a bar of soap in a little travel box. A cook pot, because why not? It wouldn't be a bad idea to have one. I can use this to cook my freeze-dried stuff in. I can use this to put water in. I can use it for everything that you use a cook pot for. I don't need to go over that. Keep a roll of duct tape in there. I try to fill this up with as much stuff as I can. And this is just a cheap one. Like, I think I got this at a thrift store or something. It's really, really cheap. But it serves the purpose. What is this? Oh, yeah. These little string backpacks. Whenever you see people handing these out as a freebie, grab them, pick them up, keep them. They're great. I love these things for if we're on vacation. I could take this thing, stick it in my pocket. Then if we go shopping or something, I've got a little string backpack that I could throw on to carry my stuff around that I decided to buy. Baofeng radio. Every person in my family has a bag similar to this, and they also have a Baofeng radio. I probably need to charge this. Yeah, the battery's getting low on it. But I don't know, you charge these once a month or so, and you're pretty good. Spend the $6 and get a better antenna. if you needed a good resource to get these from, I would say Radio Made Easy would probably be an epically wonderful place to do that. And that's all that is in the main bag. If I know I'm going somewhere, I'm going to grab my laptop and I'm going to throw it in here. There's a spot for it. This here is just a change of clothes, kind of. There's some pajama pants, a t-shirt, some underwear, and a change of socks. That's all I really need. If you need more than that, in the course of just a couple days, you're in pretty bad shape. But yeah, just a change of clothes. And if you'll notice, a big theme I have with this is I've got lots of extra room. I didn't fill this thing up. I did that forever. I just filled up every bag to the brim. Don't do that, dude. This here, just a basic little survival kit. Type stuff anyway. It's in a little padded lunchbox, and it's just all your little stuff, you know, extra Ziploc baggies, and there's some emergency space blankets and little $2 rain ponchos, and what else is in there? Looks like a couple lighters and a notepad. This is maps of my area. The greater area that I live in. Everybody has one of these in their bag, at least in the family. No need for y'all to see that. I don't remember what's in here. I think this is like compasses and stuff. Oh yeah, it's just some, look at that, rubber bands. If you have rubber bands, they will go bad and dry rot on you. Just a basic rag and, you know, your typical signal mirror. I'll just keep it in here to keep it from getting scratched up. And this is useful for, I've used this before. I've never once signaled for help, but I have used it to, you know, if you got something in your eye or something along that lines, just for, you know, hygiene purposes, right? Yeah, we've got phones and stuff, but, you know, let's see, this is just more of the same, some little fire starter tinder stuff, matches, more of that. The one thing I didn't drag out of this bag, because I don't want to put all my stuff out there, is a book, a notebook that has all of the important phone numbers that I may have, all of the important documentation, copies of paperwork, marriage licenses, birth certificates. We have all that stuff. Golly, that wind. We have all that stuff in the house, and if we have to evacuate, I'm bringing that stuff with me, but there's copies of that stuff in the bag as well. It's just in a folder because that's all I really need. Along with that is a USB drive that has all of that stuff and more stuff along with it. But anyway, that is the basic rundown of what I consider to be a go bag. And before you come at me with, oh, what about a gun and all this stuff? Well, there are things that I carry on me every day anyway. Part of my everyday carry items are a battery bank, a flashlight, pocket knife, cell phone, you know, all of that stuff, some medical supplies. I keep that stuff with me. And obviously, if I'm grabbing my damn go bag, all that stuff's going to come too. So keep that in mind. It doesn't necessarily include weather appropriate clothing. Well, I'm going to have that stuff with me anyway. It doesn't include sleeping bags and stuff because that's already in the truck and it's already in the car. And if I'm going to be leaving, I'm going to grab that stuff and get away from the idea that you're just going to like hoof your way out of here. A $1,500 Corolla with a quarter tank of gas beats a $2,000 Bugout bag every single time. Don't forget that. All right, guys, I'll post some links to Amazon for all this stuff below in the comments and description. Y'all feel free to check that out. It does support me just a little bit. I appreciate you watching my videos. I'll put some links up here somewhere to a video that YouTube thinks that you guys might enjoy. All right, until next time, y'all be safe.